The Woods are doing all kinds of operations on me. They're even fucking up my networks anyway. Like the Temple of Casa Ibram that I really talk about, the Temple of Philae, the Temple of Wat Mosi, the Temple of Siptah, and Tarsharet, okay, the mortuary temples, the temples of Ramses, the fourth, the Ramseum, okay, the private temple of Nebwenenef, of Ramsid. What are we talking about here? We're talking about temples. We're talking about the different, many, many different tombs in temples of Egypt long before the Asians had them, long before the Europeans had Stonehenge, long before the Greeks. Later on, we'll be getting to my scorecard. I'm born in California. I lived in Southern California, LA, San Jose, in the Bay Area, South Bay. I'm 15-0. I'm going to give you my scorecard. The first part of my scorecard starts when I was 15, and I'm undefeated, 15-0. I've defeated everybody from local people. I defeated the boxing champion from Seattle. I defeated him really 20-0, and that was, of every match, I pretty much was undefeated, untouched. Okay, I defeated the football lineman from Michigan. Okay, now let me give you my scorecard here. It starts off with a couple gold belt matches, okay, because they were doing it by minusing who's who. It goes on to a couple of purple belt matches. I quickly defeated them. I'm not going to tell you how. It goes on to the red and the pluma belt matches. And the pluma belt is who I won. I get the trophy. Okay? That is my first 6 matches. After that, I have several matches in the ring with gloves with other contenders. One of them was my little brother. And that, I put about 2 of them later. Okay? So that's number 8. I beat him in the garage about 3-0, and the rules were we could hit as hard as we can, and he didn't like the rules, and I feel bad about it because really, I in a way, it was sadistic because he didn't have the techniques that I had, and it really, I was trying to help him out. Later on, he would use those skills, to defend himself when attacked by somebody, and so I'm not going to really get into the story or time and place when that happened. You can guess in the last 30 years when it happened, and you're not going to be able to. But anyway, we go on, and I'm not going to tell you which brother, whatever, or do I mean my literal brother, etc. Now, and we go on to talk about. See, that was match number 8, and before that match, I had a match. When there was a match with Glenn Finney that I won. He forfeited. That starts prior to, this is actually the first match, okay? And that match, the reason why I consider it a match is that he was trained in martial arts, I wasn't, okay? And if you really want to go back, I'm going to double that. I'm going to count that as a half, and I'm going to count another one as a half as the martial art guy. I forgot, I think his name was Scott. And we go on. So, that's the first match, really. And then the 2 golds, the 2 purples, the red, the pluma. And I might be missing one, but that's okay. I remember the purple belt, one of the purples was a girl, and she complained that it wasn't fair that I was going. And, she was pretty much surprised by my martial arts skill. And everyone was biased because I was black and not willing to admit that I was better. But at the same time, they weren't biased with the judgment of the scoring, as far as race goes. They're willing to accept that I won. Now we go on to, I'm not saying there wasn't any racism in the place, but there was some kind of, some of the people who attended might have held some racial views, which contributed to, of all the martial art places that I went to, the one I won the trophy was one of the most, respected, as far as how they treat people and how friendly they are to youngsters and etc. And we go on, and those matches were all, we're going to call that whole first half of matches, we're going to call those teenage years, okay? And we're going to go on to talk about the matches as I grow up as an adult. I believe I might have been 16 or 17 though when that white kid came. you know, so it's hard to call when that happened. That might have fallen into the teen category too. But anyway, as an adults, there's Lynn, there's the white boy. I'm trying to think of the other 2, 4, 5 matches. Okay, and what to consider them. But I've given you 10 matches where I've beaten everybody, and that pretty much covers it. I'm not going to include the matches that I had when I was younger, the squabbles I won at boarding school. I'm not going to include any squabbles I had with you know, my neighbors, and you know, tussles I had when I was younger, except for Glenn, because you know, anything that had to do with martial arts I'm going to include. If you know, we don't include that, I'm not going to include the forfeits like Chris Corona. I'm not going to include other people, you know, the forfeits, you know, like by the compound and Blossom Hill, and I'm not going to include some wrestling matches. Wrestling doesn't count. We're just talking about strictly in the ring, strictly who won, and you know, that's all we're going to cover. Now, if we want to go back and include the, you know, there was different drills we did that I won, like when I kicked Gene in the head, and it was a rumble. You know what I'm saying? It proved I did good in a rumble situation and in the ring, because I won in the rumble drill and I won in the one-on-one trophy. You know, for the trophy, the sparring events for the trophy. And you know, there's also big bear competition I didn't. There's definitely competitions I didn't attend. There's definitely people who have more respect and more renown than me, and I'm not going to mention their name, but one has, you know, we'll call Mike, and you know, I'm not going to say which one, but he definitely has respect. And I'm going to cover the next, because I'm running out of low on time. I have a, you know, I got to set up things around here, and you know, I got protests to arrange and stuff like that. So I'm going to end the video short. Thank you.